Do I have a drinking problem? Does question sound familiar? This is a question I hear all the time from people. Do I have a drinking problem? And, this was a question that I ask myself so many times, countless times over the years. And it was a question that I always found it difficult to answer honestly, because really what I could do was I could look around and I could compare myself to somebody else that had a bigger problem than myself or that was being affected in a bigger way. I could even compare myself to older versions of me that, well, I clearly had a drinking problem then, but probably now I'm fine because, I'm different in this way, this way, and this way. And so this question of do I have a drinking problem, it's really a hard question to answer. And I think a lot of people Google it, searching, I know I did, thinking that somehow the internet was gonna give me the answer to whether or not I had a problem. And it wasn't really until I started reframing that question that I was able to get a really good look at whether or not drinking was causing a problem in my life. So I'm a big believer in this idea of gray area drinking. So I didn't invent this, but I love it. So gray area drinking means that you have the non-drinker and you have the problem drinker, and that there's a really big gray area in between those two things. And that is where most people fall. So the term normal drinker, what does that really mean? I know for me, there were times in my life where I was closer to the non-drinker side, when I was pregnant and my kids were really little. And then there were definitely times when I was way closer here to this side, the problem drinker side. But most of the time I was falling somewhere in between. And, when you think of things in that way, there really is no definitive line that makes a person cross from normal drinker to problem drinker. So we really have to start flipping that question around. So instead of asking, do I have a drinking problem? Changing that around and saying, is drinking causing problems for me in my life? When I decided that I needed to take alcohol out of the driver's seat of my life, I was in a position, my kids were 2 and 4, and what I was realizing was that all of the wine that I was drinking at night, either before my kids went to bed or after my kids went to bed, that I thought was the purpose of it was to relax me and take my stress away and to make it easier to be a parent. What I realized was that when I was waking up in the morning, I had a problem. My head hurt. I was forgetting things. I didn't have any energy. I was irritable. I was anxious. Like all of those things were happening the more wine I drank to try to relax myself. So I also started realizing that I was thinking about the wine. I was thinking about the alcohol when I wasn't even drinking it. So I was thinking about how I was going to plan to drink in the future. Then there was the time where I was drinking it. And then the next day I was in a place of like recovery or regret. And so I was still reeling from the wine that I had drank in the past. So I realized that alcohol was taking up such a big space in my brain and my energy and my life. So when I flipped that question around and started asking myself, is alcohol causing problems in my life or is it making my life better? And when I looked at it that way, bam, the answer became very clear. Drinking was a problem in my life. And then I didn't have to at that point decide that I was a problem or that I was broken. It was the drinking that I was allowing into my life that was causing the problems. And so then I could start working to make the choices to change that and get rid of it. And so this mindset shift really opened me up for freedom to actually start looking for solutions. Okay, how do I stop letting drinking be a problem in my life? This is where coaching can come into play and really help. You can find me at soulstruthcoaching.com. We can talk. We can do a free 30-minute discovery call. You can also find me on Facebook, Souls Truth Coaching. And I also highly recommend starting with the book, This Naked Mind by Annie Grace. It will really, really, really help you to start shifting those things inside your brain. All right. Until next time, remember, shift that question from do I have a drinking problem to is drinking a problem in my life? All right. Bye.